Congratulations on your engagement to Miri. The words slice through the air like a blade. Regina's hand goes numb around her champagne flute. Through the crack in the conference room door, she watches her fiancé sign away 3 years of her life for $50 million. The champagne glass shatters against the floor. The sound cuts through expensive conversations and fake laughter like a gunshot. Every face in the Chung family conference room turns toward the doorway, where Regina Spencer stands with her hand still extended, trembling, her fingers wet with champagne and something sharper. Betrayal tastes like blood and vintage Dom Perignon. Johan Chung's face drains of color. He's frozen mid-handshake with Sumi Kyon, the investor who just bought his soul for $50 million for a daughter with an MBA from Harvard. The contract sits between them on the glossy table, still warm from his signature, still damning. 3 years. Regina's voice doesn't sound like hers. It's too steady, too cold, carved from ice and rage. 3 damn years, Johan. The engagement ring slides off her finger. It's a 2-carat diamond that Johan's mother picked out because Regina's taste wasn't refined enough, wasn't Chung family enough, wasn't Korean enough, though they'd never say it out loud. The ring hits Johan's chest and bounces off his $800 shirt, clattering onto the table beside the contract that erased her. Sumi Kyon recovers first, her smile sharp as surgery. Miss Spencer. How dramatic. Though I suppose we should have expected such a spirited reaction. Regina's laugh scrapes out of her throat. Spirited. That's a polite word for it. Johan finally finds his voice, stepping toward her with his hands raised like she's a spooked animal. Regina, listen, this isn't what it looks like. It looks like you discarded me for a business deal. She points at the contract. Clause 7, paragraph 3. Johan Chung agrees to terminate relationship with Regina Spencer effective immediately in exchange for $50 million investment in Chung Industries. Did I read that wrong? Because it seems pretty fucking clear to me. The room holds its breath. Taewon Chung, Johan's father, sets down his whiskey with deliberate calm. He's a man who built an empire on other people's money and other people's broken dreams. Miss Spencer, you're upset. Understandably so. We're prepared to offer you a severance package. A severance package. Regina's voice cracks on a laugh that sounds like breaking glass. Like I'm an employee you're firing. Not the woman your son proposed to. Not the woman who designed your flagship building that saved this company from bankruptcy last year. Sumi leans back in her chair, examining her nails. Darling, you must understand. Marriage at this level is about alliances. Legacy. Johan needs someone who fits into our world. And I don't fit because I'm black, or because my father's a mechanic instead of a millionaire, or because I earned my master's degree instead of buying it. Regina's hands shake, but her spine is steel. Be specific, Sumi. I want to remember exactly why I'm not good enough. This is business, Miss Spencer. Taewon cuts in, his voice flat. Not personal. Everything is personal when you're the one being thrown away. Johan's voice cracks. Regina, I had to think about the family. About the legacy. My father built this company. Your father built this company on his brother's back. The voice comes from the shadows near the doorway, smooth as smoke and twice as dangerous. Or did you forget to mention that part of the legacy? Taewon? Every head snaps toward the speaker. A man steps into the light, and the temperature in the room drops 10 degrees. He's older than Johan, maybe mid-40s, with silver threading through black hair and eyes that have seen things that would make Taewon Chung wet himself. His suit costs more than Johan's car, and he wears danger like cologne. Regina recognizes him from Johan's family photos, the ones shoved in the back of closets and never discussed. Chunso Chung, the uncle, the ghost, the man Johan's mother crosses herself about when she's had too much wine. Chunso's gaze slides over the room like a blade before landing on Regina. His smile is all teeth. Miss Spencer, or should I say, the woman who just became very valuable to me. Before you click away, hit that subscribe button. This story is about to get wild, and you won't want to miss a single second. Trust me. Taewon stands so fast his chair screeches. You have no business here, Chunso. I have every business here. This is still my family's company. Or did you forget whose money built the foundation before you stole it? Chunso's voice never rises, but it fills the room like smoke. 50 million. Sue me? That's what my nephew's integrity costs these days? Inflation's hit hard. Sumi's smile tightens. Mr. Chung, I heard you'd returned from Seoul. How unfortunate. Unfortunate for some. Chunso's eyes return to Regina, and there's something calculating in his gaze. Something that makes her skin prickle with awareness. Miss Spencer, do you have a moment? I'd like to discuss a business proposition. Regina's laugh is sharp. If it involves this family, I'll pass. It involves destroying this family. Chunso tilts his head. Interested now? The silence stretches like taffy. Johan moves toward Regina again, and this time she sees real fear in his eyes. Not fear of losing her. Fear of what she might do. Regina, don't listen to him. He's dangerous. He's connected to people who respect loyalty. Chunso finishes. Unlike you, nephew. Unlike your father who stole my late wife's life insurance to fund his first property development. Unlike your mother who testified against me in court with lies. Unlike this entire family who built their fortune on betrayal. Regina's head spins. The room tilts. She clutches the doorframe, and Chunso is there suddenly, steadying her with a hand on her elbow. His touch is surprisingly gentle. Breathe, he murmurs. They're not worth your tears. I'm not crying, but her cheeks are wet. Of course not. He releases her, stepping back with that same dangerous smile. You're furious. Good. Fury is useful. Tears are not. Taewon's face purples. Get out of my building. Your building. Chunso's laugh is cold. I own 40% of the venture capital fund that owns this building, Taewon. Technically, you're standing in my property. But I'm feeling generous tonight. He turns to Regina. Shall we? She looks back at Johan. At his perfect face and weak eyes and the signature on the contract that chose money over her. At Taewon and Sumi and Miri, who's been silent this whole time, looking uncomfortable in her designer dress and diamond tennis bracelet. Miss Spencer, Chunso says softly. In 72 hours, Taewon will make sure you never work in this city again. He's already making calls. Your client list will evaporate. Your firm will collapse. You'll be blackballed from every architecture contract worth having. Or, he extends his hand. You can walk out of here with me and make them all regret ever underestimating you. Regina wipes her face, squares her shoulders, takes Chunso Chung's hand. Lead the way. Johan's voice chases them down the hallway. Regina, please. I love you. I made a mistake. She doesn't turn around. Doesn't break stride. Chunso's hand is solid in hers. Grounding. They reach the elevator. The doors close on Johan's desperate face. And Regina finally lets herself breathe. The elevator descends in silence. Chunso releases her hand, leaning against the wall with casual grace that probably took years to perfect. He's watching her with those dark, knowing eyes. You held up remarkably well, he says. I want to throw up. Also fair. His smile softens, becomes almost human. There's a bar 2 blocks from here. Quiet. Discreet. Let me buy you a drink, and I'll explain what I'm offering before you decide I'm insane. Regina's laugh is broken. A drink with a stranger who just admitted to having organized crime connections. What could go wrong? Everything. Or nothing. That's the beauty of free will, Miss Spencer. The elevator reaches the ground floor. The doors open onto the lobby where Regina walked in 3 hours ago. Naive and trusting and wearing her best dress to impress her future in-laws. That version of her is dead now. Something else is being born in the wreckage. Chunso offers his arm like they're heading to a gala instead of a bar to discuss revenge. Shall we? Regina loops her arm through his. Why not? My evening's already ruined. The bar is called Midnight Garden, tucked between a bookstore and a dry cleaner like a secret. Inside, it's all dark wood and soft lighting and jazz that sounds like heartbreak. Chunso guides her to a corner booth, orders 2 whiskeys without asking what she wants, and waits. Regina drinks. The whiskey burns her chest, but she drinks more. Okay, she finally says. Talk. What's this proposition? Chunso swirls his glass, studying the amber liquid. I want to marry you. Regina chokes on her whiskey. Excuse me? Marry me. Legally. Publicly. Spectacularly. He leans forward, and his eyes are intense, focused, like she's the only thing in the universe that matters. Become my wife and help me reclaim everything my brother stole from me. In exchange, I'll give you power, resources, and front row seats to the Chung family's destruction. You're crazy. Probably. He doesn't look offended. I'm also serious. I've been watching you, Miss Spencer, for 2 years, since I saw you speak at an architecture conference in Seoul. You talked about designing spaces that empower people instead of diminishing them. You looked like fire, like everything I'd lost and everything I wanted. Regina's skin prickles. That's creepy. That's honest. Chunso's smile is sharp. I don't do games. I don't do lies. I do business, loyalty, and occasionally murder when absolutely necessary. But always with purpose. Oh, well, as long as there's purpose to the murder. Regina's head spins. This is crazy. I don't even know you. You know I'm dangerous. You know I have money. You know I hate my brother as much as you currently hate my nephew. He ticks off points on his fingers. You know I'm offering you a chance to make them all regret underestimating you. What else do you need to know? Why me specifically? Chunso is quiet for a long moment. When he speaks, his voice is softer, rawer. Because Taewon destroyed my life 20 years ago. He stole my money, my reputation, and my chance to grieve my wife properly. He built his empire on my tragedy. And now his son just threw away the one woman who could have actually helped him become something better than his father. Chunso's eyes meet hers. I want to watch Taewon realize his biggest mistake was raising a coward. And I want you standing beside me when he does. Regina's heart hammers. What are the terms? Smart woman. Chunso pulls a folded document from his jacket. Marriage. Legal and public. Minimum 1 year. We live together in my penthouse. Separate bedrooms. Separate lives until or unless you decide otherwise. Your architecture firm stays independent. I won't interfere. Prenup protects both of us. Intimate relations entirely at your discretion. I won't touch you unless you want me to. Regina unfolds the document. Scans the legalese. Shockingly fair. Almost too fair. What do you get out of this? She asks. Revenge. Legitimacy. A brilliant, beautiful wife who makes Taewon's head explode. Chunso's smile is wicked. And maybe, if we're lucky, something real. But I'm not banking on that. I'm banking on mutually beneficial destruction. Regina should run. Should call a lawyer. Should do anything except consider marrying a man she met 20 minutes ago who just casually mentioned murder. Instead, she asks, where do I sign? Chunso's laugh is surprised. Delighted. You're sure? No. Regina's hand shakes as she reaches for his pen. But I'm done being the woman who plays it safe and gets thrown away. If I'm going to burn, I'm taking them all with me. Now you sound like a Chung. Chunso slides the contract toward her. Welcome to the family, darling. Regina signs her name. The ink is black. The decision is made. Chunso's phone buzzes. He glances at it, and his expression hardens. That was fast. Taewon's already calling in favors. You've lost 2 clients in the last 10 minutes. Rage flares hot in Regina's chest. Son of a... Don't worry. Chunso pockets the phone. By tomorrow morning, you'll have 5 new clients worth twice what you lost. By tomorrow evening, we'll be married. And by tomorrow night, Taewon will realize he just declared war on the wrong brother. Regina drains her whiskey. When do we start? Right now. Chunso stands, offering his hand. Come on. We have a wedding to plan and a family to destroy. Not necessarily in that order. She takes his hand. His grip is strong, steady, and certain. Everything Johan's never was. One question, Regina says as they head for the door. Do you actually feel anything for me? Or am I just a weapon in your revenge plot? Chunso stops, turns. His eyes search hers with an intensity that steals her breath. Ask me again in 6 months, he says quietly. When you know me well enough to recognize the truth. It's not an answer, but somehow it's enough. If you're hooked, click that like button and drop a comment telling me if Regina's making the right choice. And stick around because this story is about to get even messier. Regina's phone explodes with notifications as Chunso's car glides through midnight Manhattan. Text after text, Email after email, each one a small detonation in her professional life. Riverside Development regrets to inform you, after careful consideration, we've decided to go in another direction, due to unforeseen circumstances. Regina's hand tightens around her phone until her knuckles go white. Chunso glances over from the driver's seat of his Mercedes, his expression unreadable in the dark. How many? He asks. 5 clients. No, 6. Wait. Her phone buzzes again. 7. Taewon's efficient. I'll give him that. Chunso's voice is calm, almost amused. By morning, you'll have lost everything you built. Unless you marry me before dawn and let me make some calls of my own. He turns onto a quieter street, pulling up to a building that screams money in the way only old money can. Understated, elegant, terrifying. We do this now or we don't do it at all. Taewon won't wait, and neither can we. Regina stares up at the building. Now? Like, right now. I have a judge who owes me a favor and a very understanding assistant who can pull together the paperwork in under an hour. Chunso kills the engine, turning to face her fully. But I need you to be sure, Regina. Once we do this, there's no going back. You'll be in my world. And my world is complicated. Complicated like tax evasion or complicated like bodies in the Hudson? Both. Neither. Depends on the week. His smile is sharp. I'm not a good man, Regina. I've done things that would make you run. But I protect what's mine with everything I have. You become my wife, you're under my protection. No one touches you. No one hurts you. Not Taewon. Not Johan. Not anyone. Regina's heart hammers against her ribs. And if I want out? Then you walk. The prenup guarantees you a clean exit, a generous settlement, and my silence about anything you witness while we're married. He pauses. But I don't think you'll want out. Confident much? Observant. Chunso's gaze is steady. You're not the type to run from a fight. You're the type to burn down the house and roast marshmallows on the ashes. That's why this will work. That's why we should work together. Before Regina can respond, her phone rings. Johan's face fills the screen, smiling up at her from a photo taken some months ago at his company retreat. When she still believed in them. When she still believed in anything. She declines the call, blocks the number, looks at Chunso. Let's do this before I remember I'm supposed to be rational. Chunso's smile could cut glass. Rationality is overrated. Come on. The penthouse is ridiculous. Solid windows overlooking Central Park. Art that probably costs more than Regina's entire firm. Furniture that looks like it belongs in a museum. But it's the personal touches that catch her attention. Books everywhere. A worn leather jacket draped over a chair. Framed photos of a young Chunso with a beautiful woman who must be his late wife. Her smile bright enough to light up the black and white photo. A man appears from a side room, 50-ish, built like a tank, moving with military precision. He nods to Chunso, assesses Regina with sharp eyes, and apparently finds her acceptable because his expression softens slightly. Mike Fields, head of my security, Chunso introduces. Mike, this is Regina Spencer. My future wife as of approximately. He checks his watch. 1 hour from now. Mike doesn't even blink. Congratulations, sir. Miss Spencer. He hands Chunso a tablet. Paperwork's ready. Judge Chun will be here in 40 minutes. I took the liberty of arranging appropriate attire for Miss Spencer. You have a wedding dress just lying around? Regina's voice pitches higher than she intends. I have resources, Chunso says simply. Mike, can you show Regina to the guest suite? Help her get settled. Mike gestures toward a hallway. This way, Miss Spencer. Regina follows, her head spinning. The guest suite is bigger than her entire apartment. The closet door is open, revealing a stunning ivory dress, simple but elegant, and shoes that actually look like her size. How did you? Mr. Chung is very thorough, Mike says. There's makeup, jewelry, whatever you need. I'll be outside if you require anything. He leaves her alone. Regina sinks onto the bed, staring at the dress. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. She's about to marry a man she met 2 hours ago. A man with Mafia connections and a revenge plot. A man who just casually arranged a midnight wedding like it's ordering takeout. Her phone buzzes. A text from Sabrina, her business partner and best friend. Regina. What the fuck? 7 clients? Call me. Regina's fingers hover over the keyboard. What does she say? Hey, getting married to my ex's uncle? Yeah, that'll go over well. She types, trust me. I'll explain tomorrow. I promise I'm okay. Sabrina responds immediately, you better be. I'm tracking your location. If you disappear, I'm calling the cops and your mother. Despite everything, Regina laughs. She sends back a heart emoji and sets down the phone. The dress fits perfectly. Of course it does. The makeup is natural, elegant. The shoes don't hurt. It's like Chunso planned this down to the smallest detail. Because he did, Regina realizes. He's been planning this. Watching her, he had said, waiting for the right moment. It should terrify her. Maybe it does. But there's something else underneath the fear. Something that feels dangerously like power. A knock on the door. Chunso's voice. Judge is here. You ready? Regina looks at herself in the mirror. She looks beautiful. She looks dangerous. She looks like someone Johan Chung will regret losing for the rest of his pathetic life. Ready. The ceremony is brief, clinical, and somehow still manages to steal Regina's breath. Judge Chun is a tiny woman with steel-gray hair and eyes that have seen everything twice. She doesn't ask questions, doesn't comment on the unusual circumstances. She just performs the legal ritual with brisk efficiency. Do you, Chunso Chung, take Regina Spencer to be your lawfully wedded wife? I do. Chunso's voice is steady, certain. Do you, Regina Spencer, take Chunso Chung to be your lawfully wedded husband? Regina's mouth is dry. This is it. The moment everything changes. The moment she stops being the woman who got thrown away and becomes something else entirely. I do. By the power vested in me by the state of New York, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Chunso's eyes ask permission. Regina nods, barely breathing. The kiss is supposed to be performative, a legal formality, a necessary part of the ceremony. It's not. Chunso's lips are soft but firm, tasting like whiskey and danger and something Regina can't quite name. His hand cups her face with unexpected gentleness. And for a moment, the world narrows to just this. Just them. Just the electric shock of connection that makes Regina's entire body wake up and pay attention. When they break apart, Chunso's eyes are dark, surprised. Well, that was unexpected. Regina's laugh is breathless. Yeah, unexpected. Judge Chun clears her throat, looking amused. Congratulations. Try not to kill each other. She hands them the marriage certificate. Though if you do, I was never here. She leaves. Mike reappears with champagne and a quiet, congratulations, sir. Mrs. Chung. Mrs. Chung. Regina is Mrs. Chung now. The name sits strange on her shoulders, heavy with implications. Chunso pops the champagne, pours 2 glasses, hands one to Regina. To revenge, he says. To revenge, Regina echoes. They drink. Chunso sets down his glass, suddenly serious. I need to make some calls. Business that can't wait. Mike will show you to your suite, your permanent suite, take tonight to rest. Tomorrow we go public. Tomorrow we go to war. What kind of war? The kind where we show up at the Chung Industries Investor Gala as husband and wife and watch Taewon's face implode. Chunso's smile is vicious. The gala is tomorrow night. Johan will be there with Miri, announcing their engagement. We'll be there announcing ours. With the minor addition that I just bought out Sumi Kayon's investment position. So the $50 million deal is dead. And Johan gets Melissa, bankruptcy, and a front row seat to his biggest mistake. Regina's breath catches. You bought out the deal? Closed the purchase 20 minutes before I walked into that conference room. Chunso's eyes glitter. I told you, I've been planning this. Waiting for the right moment. You were always part of the plan, Regina. I just didn't know if you'd be brave enough to join me. Am I brave or stupid? Maybe both. He steps closer, and Regina catches his scent. Expensive cologne and something darker, more primal. Get some sleep, Mrs. Chung. Tomorrow we burn it all down. He leaves. Mike shows Regina to her suite. Absurdly luxurious. with a king bed and a view of the city lights and a bathroom bigger than her old bedroom. There's a note on the pillow in Chunso's handwriting. Your firm will have 12 new clients by morning. Sleep well. The war begins at dawn. Regina doesn't sleep. She stares at the ceiling at her wedding ring, a simple platinum band that somehow fits perfectly, and wonders what the hell she just did. Her phone buzzes. Sabrina again. Regina Anastasia Spencer, I swear to God, if you don't call me right now. Regina calls. Finally. What the? I got married. Regina blurts out. Silence. Then, you what? I married Chunso Chung, Johan's uncle. The one with the Mafia connections and the billions of dollars and the revenge plot against his entire family. More silence. Then Sabrina laughs, high and slightly hysterical. Okay, I'm coming over. Where are you? His penthouse. Central Park West. Of course it is. I'm bringing wine. And a taser. Don't do anything else insane before I get there. Sabrina arrives 30 minutes later, armed with wine, questions, and a very protective energy. She takes one look at Regina in silk pajamas that definitely belong to someone else's life and whistles low. Damn girl, you're really committed to this revenge thing. Huh. They drink wine on the balcony, overlooking the city that just watched Regina's life explode and rebuild in the span of 6 hours. Regina explains everything, the contract, the betrayal, the proposition, the wedding. Sabrina listens, her expression shifting from shock to anger to something that might be respect. So let me get this straight, Sabrina says slowly. You married a mafia boss to destroy your ex-fiancé's family empire. Essentially. And you're going to the gala tomorrow to flaunt it. That's the plan. Sabrina raises her glass. I always said you were too good for Johan. This is extreme, but I respect the energy. She pauses. Is Chunso hot? Regina chokes on her wine. Sabrina. What? I'm just saying, if you're gonna marry someone older for revenge, might as well be someone attractive. Is he? Regina thinks about Chunso's sharp eyes and dangerous smile, and the way her entire body woke up when he kissed her. He's intense. Intense hot or intense scary? Both. Sabrina grins. Perfect. Okay, I'm in. What do you need? What? For the gala. You're going to need a dress that makes Johan cry and makes this Chunso guy forget his own name. I'm thinking red. Dangerous. Unforgettable. Sabrina's eyes gleam. Let's make them all regret ever underestimating you. For the first time since the champagne glass shattered, Regina smiles. Really smiles. Let's do that. The gala dress is red like warning signs and heartbreak. It fits Regina like sin, and when she walks into the ballroom on Chunso's arm, the entire room stops breathing. Camera flashes explode. Whispers ripple through the crowd like wildfire. Chunso's hand is steady on her waist, possessive but not controlling, grounding her as they step into the lion's den. Breathe, Chunso murmurs. You're magnificent. They're already terrified. Regina scans the room. There's Sumi Kion, her face going pale. There, Tae-won Chung, nearly dropping his drink. And there, Johan and Melissa, frozen by the champagne fountain, staring at Regina like she's a ghost. Show time, Regina whispers. Chunso's smile is all teeth. Let's give them hell. They work the room like predators. Chunso introduces Regina to billionaires, politicians, celebrities, everyone treating her with automatic respect because she's on his arm, because she's his wife, because apparently, Chunso Chung is someone people are terrified to cross. Mrs. Chung, someone gushes. I heard you design the most stunning sustainable buildings. We must talk about our new development. Regina, a colleague from grad school. Oh my God, Chung? You married into the Chung family? Not into, Regina corrects smoothly. I married the one who actually earned his empire. Chunso's hand tightens on her waist, approving. Sumi Kion intercepts them near the bar, her smile sharp enough to cut. Mr. Chung, how surprising to see you here, and with Miss Spencer, no less. Mrs. Chung, Chunso corrects, ice in his voice. And it's not surprising at all, Sumi. This is a family event. I am family. Of course. Sumi's eyes slide to Regina, calculating, cold. This is quite the rebound, dear. Though I suppose when one door closes, you find a window. Or, in this case, a significantly older window with questionable business connections. Regina's smile doesn't reach her eyes. Questionable connections? You mean like the investment fund you manage that's currently under investigation for insider trading? Or were you referring to something else? Sumi's face goes stiff. I have no idea what you're. Of course you don't. Chunso's voice is silk over steel. And I'm sure the SEC won't find anything when they start looking deeper. Oh wait, they already are. Funny how these things happen. He guides Regina away, leaving Sumi sputtering. Regina's heart hammers with adrenaline and something that might be joy. Did you actually tip off the SEC? She whispers. I may have mentioned some irregularities to a friend who happens to be a federal prosecutor. Chunso's smile is wicked. Revenge is a dish best served with legal documentation. They're halfway across the room when Johan appears, desperate and drunk and pathetic. He grabs Regina's arm, and immediately, Chunso's hand is there, removing Johan's grip with careful, dangerous pressure. Touch her again, Chunso says quietly, and you'll lose the hand. Johan's face is blotchy, his eyes red. Regina, please, we need to talk. I made a mistake. I ended things with Melissa. I told my father. I don't care, Johan. Regina's voice is flat. I don't care what you told anyone. I don't care that you regret it. I don't care that you're sorry. You had a choice and you chose money over me. End of story. But I love you. Johan's voice cracks. I love you, and you married him? My uncle? He's dangerous, Regina. He's connected to organized crime. He's twice your age. He's honest. Regina interrupts. He respects me. He chose me. You couldn't choose me when it cost you anything. She steps closer, her voice dropping. And for the record, I'm not with Chunso because I'm trying to hurt you. I'm with Chunso because he sees my value. Something you never managed to do. Melissa appears, wobbling on designer heels, looking uncomfortable. Johan, we should. She stops, seeing Regina. Oh, hi. Regina gives her a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. Congratulations on your engagement. I'm sure you two will be very happy. Well, as happy as a business transaction can be. She turns to leave, and Johan grabs her again. Regina, please. Chunso moves like lightning. One moment he's beside Regina. The next he has Johan against the wall. One hand around his throat, his voice deadly calm. I told you not to touch her. Do we need to have a longer conversation about boundaries? Perhaps somewhere private? Perhaps involving my security team and a very deep river. Johan's eyes go wide with genuine fear. Taewon Chung rushes over, furious. Chunso, let him go. When he learns to keep his hands to himself and not on my wife. Chunso releases Johan, who gasps for air. Your son has boundary issues, Taewon. You should work on that. Along with his backbone, his integrity, and his complete lack of spine. Taewon's face purples. You have no right to be here. This is Chung Industries' property. Actually, a new voice interjects and Mike appears with a tablet. As of 6 hours ago, Mr. Chunso Chung owns 41% of Chung Industries through various shell corporations and investment vehicles, making him the largest single shareholder. So technically, sir, you're on his property. The silence is deafening. Taewon's face goes from purple to white. Johan looks like he might throw up. Sumi Kayon, watching from across the room, suddenly looks very interested in leaving. Chunso smiles, slow and deadly. Surprise, brother. Did you really think I'd let you steal from me twice? I've been buying up shares for 5 years. Waiting. Planning. And now. He looks at Regina, and his smile softens. Now I have everything I need. Regina's chest tightens. The way he's looking at her, it's not just about revenge anymore. There's something real underneath the strategy. Something that makes her pulse race and her breath catch. Taewon finds his voice. You can't do this. The board will never. The board already voted. Emergency meeting this afternoon. I'm now chairman and you're retired, Taewon. Effective immediately. Enjoy your golden parachute while it lasts. Chunso takes Regina's hand. Now if you'll excuse us, my wife and I have better things to do than watch you implode. They walk away. Behind them, chaos erupts. Taewon shouting. Sumi making frantic phone calls. Johan collapsing into a chair with his head in his hands. Regina doesn't look back. She keeps her eyes forward, her hand in Chunso's, her heart hammering with victory and terror, and something that feels dangerously like hope. Hit that notification bell if you want to know what happens next. Because trust me, this is just the beginning. Outside, the night air is cool and sharp. Chunso's car is waiting. They slide into the back seat, and the door closes, muffling the chaos behind them. Silence. Just their breathing and the quiet hum of the city. Then Regina starts laughing. High and wild and free, the kind of laughter that sounds like breaking and rebuilding all at once. Chunso watches her, his expression unreadable. You okay? I just watched you destroy your brother's empire in under 5 minutes. Regina gasps for air between laughs. I'm better than okay. I don't even have words. Victorious, Chunso suggests, terrified, exhilarated, probably insane. She looks at him, really looks at him, this dangerous man she married on impulse and revenge. You planned all of this. Every move. Most of it. Chunso's smile is softer now, less sharp. You were the variable I couldn't control. I didn't know if you'd say yes. I didn't know if you'd be brave enough, angry enough, or reckless enough to join me. He reaches out, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear. But you were. You are. And that makes you the most dangerous woman I've ever met. Regina's breath catches at his touch. Dangerous how? Dangerous because you make me want things I stopped wanting 20 years ago. His voice drops. Dangerous because when I kissed you at that ceremony, it wasn't just for show. Dangerous because every time I look at you, I forget this was supposed to be just business. The air between them crackles. Regina should pull away, should maintain boundaries, should remember this is a contract, not a romance. Instead, she kisses him. It's not gentle. It's not tentative. It's fire and fury and days of chaos burning into something that might be desire or might be madness or might be both. Chunso responds immediately, his hands sliding into her hair, his mouth claiming hers with an intensity that steals her breath and her sense and maybe her sanity. When they break apart, they're both breathing hard. Chunso's eyes are dark, heated. Regina, don't. She presses a finger to his lips. Don't analyze it. Don't question it. Just take me home. Chunso's smile is slow, dangerous, and full of promise. Yes, Mrs. Chung. The penthouse feels different now. Charged. Electric. Chunso pours them whiskey with steady hands, but Regina can see the tension in his shoulders, the careful control he's maintaining. You don't have to hold back, she says quietly. I'm not fragile. I know. Chunso hands her the glass. That's what worries me. You're not fragile. You're steel and fire. And He stops, searching for words. I'm 46 years old, Regina. I've done things that would horrify you. Killed people who deserved it and some who probably didn't. Built an empire on blood and fear and calculated violence. I'm not a good man. I don't want a good man. Regina sets down her glass. I want an honest one. And you've been more honest with me in 3 days than Johan was in 3 years. Chunso's laugh is rough. That's a low bar. Maybe. But you cleared it. She steps closer, close enough to feel his heat. I'm not asking for forever, Chunso. I'm not asking for love or promises or fairy tales. I'm asking for tonight. For right now. For whatever this is between us that's not just revenge anymore. His control fractures. She sees it in his eyes, in the way his jaw tightens, in the way his hands curl into fists at his sides. If we do this, he says roughly, if we cross this line, I won't be able to uncross it. I'll want you, not as a weapon or a strategy or a partner in revenge. As mine. Good. Regina's smile is sharp. Because I already want you, and I don't share. Chunso kisses her like he's drowning and she's air. Like she's the answer to questions he stopped asking decades ago. Like she's dangerous and precious and exactly what he's been waiting for. They barely make it to his bedroom. Clothes scatter. Inhibitions fall. And somewhere between the chaos and the chemistry, something shifts. Something that started as revenge and strategy transforms into something rawer, realer, and more terrifying than either of them planned. Later, tangled in expensive sheets with moonlight painting patterns on skin. Chunso traces the line of Regina's shoulder with careful fingers. I saw you speak in Seoul, he says quietly. 2 years ago, you were presenting a design for a community center in a low-income neighborhood. You talked about architecture as activism, about spaces that give people dignity. You were brilliant, passionate. You cared more about helping people than impressing them. He pauses. I thought, if I ever got a second chance at something real, it would be with someone like you. Regina's throat tightens. And now I think I'm in serious trouble. His laugh is soft, self-deprecating. Because this was supposed to be business, revenge, strategy, and instead it's you, just you. And that terrifies me more than any enemy I've ever faced. Regina rolls over to face him, studies his face in the moonlight, the lines around his eyes, the silver in his hair, the scars she's been too polite to ask about. He's beautiful in the way dangerous things are beautiful. Sharp, lethal, completely captivating. I'm terrified too, she admits. But I'm also alive for the first time in years. And that's because of you. Chunso pulls her closer. Sleep, Mrs. Chung. Tomorrow the real work begins. Taewon won't take this lying down. He'll fight back. It's going to get ugly. Let it. Regina closes her eyes, safe in arms that have killed but hold her with unexpected gentleness. I'm ready for ugly. I'm ready for war. As long as you're beside me. Always, Chunso murmurs. That's a promise I'll die keeping. The next morning brings news like artillery fire. Taewon has hired a team of lawyers. Sumi Kyon is threatening a lawsuit. Johan has checked into rehab or possibly fled the country, depending on which source you believe. And Chung Industry stock is in free fall, which means Chunso's 41% is currently worth significantly less than it was yesterday. Chunso reads the news over coffee, looking more amused than concerned. Right on schedule. This is schedule? Regina peers at his tablet. Your brother's lawyers are calling for investigations into your business dealings. They're implying organized crime connections, money laundering, murder. All technically true. Chunso sips his coffee. Which is why I have better lawyers. Mike. Mike appears. Sir, is everything in place? Yes, sir. The evidence files are with the prosecutors. The paper trail leads back to Taewon's offshore accounts. And the witness testimonies are all corroborated. Mike smiles slightly. Mr. Taewon Chung is going to have a very bad week. Regina blinks. What evidence? The evidence proving Taewon embezzled from his own company to fund his lifestyle. The evidence showing he bribed city officials for building permits. The evidence demonstrating he's been cooking books for 20 years. Chunso sets down his coffee. I've been collecting it for a decade, waiting for the right moment. This is the right moment. You're going to destroy him, Regina breathes. I'm going to make sure he faces consequences for his actions. There's a difference. Chunso's eyes are hard. He stole from me. He lied in court. He destroyed my reputation and stole my wife's legacy. And he raised a son who thinks women are disposable. He doesn't get to win, Regina. Not anymore. Regina's phone buzzes. Sabrina. Girl, you're all over the news. Mystery bride rocks Chung family empire. They're calling you the Black Widow. I love it. Another text. This one from a number Regina doesn't recognize. This isn't over. You'll regret this. No signature, but she knows. Johan. She shows Chunso the text. His expression goes cold, dangerous. Mike. I want security on Regina at all times. And find out where that text came from. If Johan is threatening my wife, he's going to learn what real consequences look like. On it, sir. Regina should be scared. She should be overwhelmed. Should be questioning every decision that led her here. Instead, she feels powerful, protected, dangerous. What's next? She asks. Chunso's smile is sharp. Next, we go to work. You have 12 new clients who need your brilliance. I have a company to restructure and a brother to legally demolish. And he reaches for her hand. We show the world that the rest of Chung family's biggest mistake was underestimating us both. Regina squeezes his hand. Let's go to war. The war is beautiful and terrible and everything Regina didn't know she needed. Her firm explodes with opportunities. Buildings, developments, projects that will reshape the city's skyline. Chunso is beside her through it all, supporting without controlling, advising without demanding, present without suffocating. They're partners, real partners, and somewhere between the business meetings and the legal battles and the nights tangled in sheets and secrets, Regina realizes she's falling. Not falling in love with revenge. Not falling for strategy or power or protection. Falling for Chunso, for his sharp mind and dangerous smile, for the way he listens when she talks about architecture, for the way he makes her coffee without asking how she takes it because he's learned, for the way he holds her after nightmares about Johann and champagne glasses and signatures that erased her. It's terrifying. It's exhilarating. It's real. 6 weeks after the wedding, Tae-won Chung is arrested. The charges are extensive: embezzlement, bribery, fraud, tax evasion. Johann flees to Singapore. Sumi Kyon's fund collapses. Chung Industries is restructured under Chunso's leadership, with Regina as the lead architect for a massive sustainable development project that will transform downtown Manhattan. They're sitting on the penthouse balcony when the news breaks. Chunso reads the headline aloud. Tae-won Chung faces 30 years in prison. Silence. The city glitters below them, indifferent to their victory. Do you feel better? Regina asks quietly. Now that he's destroyed? Chunso is quiet for a long moment. I feel satisfied, vindicated, but not happy. Revenge doesn't make you happy, Regina. It makes you even. He looks at her. You make me happy, waking up next to you, watching you design buildings that will outlast us both. Knowing you chose me not because you had to, but because you wanted to. That makes me happy. Regina's eyes sting. I didn't expect this. Neither did I. Chunso pulls her close. I thought I was done. Done with feeling. Done with wanting. Done with believing in anything except vengeance. And then you threw a champagne glass and changed everything. Best decision I ever made, Regina murmurs. Second best, Chunso corrects. The best was saying I do. They sit in comfortable silence, watching the city that watched them fall and rise and become something neither of them planned. Somewhere Johann is hiding. Tae-won is facing consequences. Sumi is ruined. And here, in this moment, Regina Spencer Chung is exactly where she's supposed to be. Dangerous, powerful, loved. Hey, Chunso says suddenly. Ask me. Ask you what? The question you asked on our wedding night. Do I feel anything for you? Or are you just a weapon in my revenge plot? Regina's heart hammers. Okay, do you? Chunso turns to face her fully. His eyes are soft, open, vulnerable in a way she's never seen. I'm in love with you, Regina. Completely. Terrifyingly. I love your fire and your talent and the way you take your coffee with too much sugar. I love that you threw away safety to burn down the people who hurt you. I love that you're brave enough to care for me, even though I'm dangerous and complicated and come with more baggage than an airport carousel. He takes her hand. You're not a weapon. You're everything. And if that scares you, I understand. But you asked for the truth, so there it is. Regina's breath catches. Tears spill over. But she's smiling. You're right. That terrifies me. Chunso's face falls slightly. Regina. But I love you too. She laughs through tears. I love you, and it's crazy. And it happened too fast, and I don't care. You're mine, Chunso Chung. And I don't share either. He kisses her like she's oxygen. Like she's the answer to every question that ever mattered. And somewhere in the kiss, revenge transforms into redemption. Strategy becomes love. And two broken people become something whole. When they break apart, both breathing hard, Chunso rests his forehead against hers. So, Mrs. Chung, what's next? Regina's smile is wicked. Next, we build something beautiful. An empire that's ours. Not stolen. Not bought with blood. Just ours. I like that plan. Chunso stands, pulling her up with him. Come on. Let's go change the world. Together. They walk inside, hand in hand, leaving the past burning behind them. Johann will hide. Tae-won will fall. Sumi will scramble. But none of it matters anymore. Because Regina Spencer Chung has everything she never knew she needed. Power, purpose, partnership, and a love that started as revenge and became something worth fighting for. The champagne glass shattered, the empire fell, and from the wreckage, something beautiful was born. Before you go, drop a comment telling me your favorite moment. Like this video if you're Team Regina and Chunso, and subscribe if you haven't. See you in the next video.